Y'all know who it is. It is the industry's longest continuously operating retailer, known as White Gucci in Detroit, known as Gucci Blanco down at Mar-a-Lago. And he's also Matt Gates's fixer, so I hear. Y'all know who it is. Jason Beck.
And Rico, the turkey neck soup, I thought that was for Marijuana Mitch.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with turkey neck soup. Clearly, you highfalutin people down at Mar-a-Lago know nothing about turkey neck soup.
I've never,
my
never
family
today.
turkey neck soup, and I never fuck with that shit, man. It's a turkey neck. Why am I gonna eat it?
Because it's delicious.
Back in the 1800s.
What's so delicious about the turkey neck?
It's not about the meat. It's about the
rest
flavor. Come on, people.
I generally like neck.
It's a spinal fluid.
I always save the turkey neck.
I'm just saying, I generally like neck, but whether from turkey.
I like getting neck. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy, here we go.
Well, I like some turkey neck.
Man, and you know what?
Are you a vampire, Rico?
Today we have two stories today, back to back, all involving everyone's favorite dispensary chain across America, MedMen. All right, because today Adam Bierman is just a little bit richer because he's set to get $3 million from MedMen. Can you believe that, everybody? An arbiter ruled that Bierman was entitled to $3,063,300 plus costs of $49,243.34 for a total award of a whopping $3,112,543.34 related to his separation from the company. The base award represents the value of Bierman's super voting shares and a bonus of 12 million common shares as of August of 2020. But beleaguered MedMen was once billed as the first unicorn of cannabis, meaning the company had $1 billion valuation before going public. But now it is selling off parts and drowning in debt. In a quote, "After 3 long years, I'm glad the truth has come out and that I can finally share my story," Bierman said. The court found MedMen, as well as the former executive chairman, guilty of fraud. This judgment completes the factual narrative as I passionately chase the end of prohibition, he says. However, the win could be cold comfort for Bierman, as MedMen recently reported that it has a working capital deficit of a whopping $37 million and noted that it is a ongoing concern. MedMen stated that it had already defaulted a debt with a senior lender and would need to obtain an extension or refinance. The company has just $15 million in cash and equivalents on the books and a market cap of only $25 million. The stock was selling for less than 2 cents a share. According to the court document, MedMen went public on May 29th of 2018 with its stock first listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange. Days before the IPO, Bierman, as CEO of MedMen, executed an employment agreement for himself, which provided among its benefits, you ready for this? $1.5 million in base salary, an equity grant based on a time vesting schedule, and a special IPO bonus of $4 million if the company reached a $2 billion valuation. Bierman received the valuation bonus in September of 2018. However, the company never revisited those lofty valuations. The stock was selling at roughly $3.54 at the beginning of 2019, but plunged to just roughly 53 cents by the end of 2019. Before the IPO, MedMen agreed to buy PharmaCann, but the deal ultimately fell apart back in 2019, and MedMen's stock fell, and the company needed to restructure as it cycled through several chief financial officers. The final award settlement claims that it was a failure of the deal that caused the stock price to fall, but the company also was reporting heavy losses and not paying its vendors. In addition, the co-founders were accused of enriching themselves as the company struggled. In December 2019, an investor died before completing his $20 million investment into the company. Initially, Ben Rose committed that Wicklow Capital, MedMen's then largest equity investor, would make up this shortfall. Rose was both a representative of Wicklow and executive chairman of MedMen, but the commitment soon morphed into an ultimatum to obtain the cash infusion on Christmas. Bierman, Modlin, and Gannon had to sign personal guarantees on the money, or Wicklow would allow MedMen to miss payroll and other obligations. In May 2019, Bierman reduced his salary to $50,000 and charged his equity grant to be discovery and based on performance for investor settlement morale, the statement read. According to the statement, on January 24, 2020, Bierman called Rose to tell him he was thinking of stepping down as CEO. The next Monday, January 27th, Bierman met with Rose and John McCarthy, Wicklow's general counsel, at MedMen's offices to negotiate the terms of Bierman's exit. At the time, Rose chastised and cursed at Bierman, and at some point, the negotiations became so contentious that Gonan had to physically restrain Rose when he got up and moved as though he was going to strike Bierman. However, despite an oral agreement between Rose and Bierman for 18 million shares, the written separation agreement made no mention of Bierman's right to a specified number. According to the board minutes, it was determined that the consideration MedMen would pay to Bierman to surrender his super voting shares would be put through a more rigorous valuation process. According to the final award statement, Equity Methods valued the super voting shares at $951,300. F.W. Cook, on the other hand, valued the 2019 excess contribution at about negative $4.9 million, essentially concluding that no compensation was owed to Bierman for his portion. Bierman contended that MedMen breached the separation agreement in three ways. One, relying on the Equity Methods report, which contained manifest errors to value the super voting shares. Two, relying on the F.W. Cook report, again, to manifest errors to value the 2019 excess contribution. And three, failing to issue any shares or cash for the super voting shares. The arbiter ruled that the Equity Methods report did not contain manifest errors and also denied Bierman's request for a multiple of 2.5 times the $3.7 million shares owed to him because the claimed fraud was not proven by clear, convincing evidence. With this case behind him now, Bierman said he's looking to get back into the cannabis game, noting that he is working on a few projects. One is a new retail concept based on the convenience store model with low overhead and higher margins. Well, I'm just going to digress right there and see what y'all have to say, because this is Jason Beck reporting for the High at 9 News Hour. What do y'all think?